That is the key to all of Bizarro Wrestling, is to have fun.
Absolutely. The second I take myself seriously is the second I'm not going to do it.
Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Joining me on the podcast today is the owner of Bizarro Wrestling, Kory McGuinness. How are you doing, Kory?
I am doing great, Tim. It is a wonderful day here in the best damn city in the world, New Orleans, Louisiana, where I was born and bred and where I definitely can outdrink any tourist that comes around here. That's for sure.
Oh, okay. New Orleans is definitely a spot I haven't been to since I was a child. So I'm missing out as an adult, right?
You know, there are worse reasons to come here. I'll put it that
way. Okay. Now, what we got to talk about, we got Bizarro Wrestling, which is looks like it's a fairly new company as far as I've done my research.
Yeah, fairly new. Within I started Bizarro Wrestling about 3 years ago, I think it was. I've been in the wrestling business for close 28, 20 minutes. But once it gets over 25, who's really counting, right? 27 years I've been in and around and about the wrestling business. And I've been involved in many different companies over the years, held many different hats, and always wanted to do my own thing. And I'm a little bit different than most people. Anybody that really knows me can definitely attest to that. And I wanted to do something weird, different. I may be what you call old school purist, but just sometimes I wanted to just do something that would really piss Jim Cornette off, so to speak. So I wanted to do, originally it was supposed to be called Gonzo Wrestling. It's originally going to be called Gonzo Wrestling. It's going to have a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Hunter S. Thompson type of vibe. Definitely fits with me and my friends' personalities. But then a friend of mine was like, who was still wrestling at the time, was like, "No, brother, I want to go under the hood and call myself Gonzo, so you can't do the Gonzo gimmick." I'm like, you know what, dude? Okay, he was a very good friend of mine. So I'm like, all right, fine. I've already made the graphics. I did everything but trademark everything yet. But, for you, sure. I won't do the Gonzo. So I ended up doing a Bizarro, and then he ended up retiring. And then, so the Gonzo name was just left in limbo, but I already did my first 2 shows under Bizarros. I'm like, well, there's no turning back now. Let's keep going with it. I started out doing, I like the festival atmosphere. Doing festivals here in the New Orleans area, biker rallies, Harley Davidson dealerships, stuff like that. Mainly outside shows, but some inside shows as well. And it was really taken off, and I just kept going with it. Was trying to get to comic book conventions, especially what was Wizard World, now it's Fan Expo here in New Orleans, and they finally reached out to me. Unfortunately, it was like a month before the convention, and it was just too soon to get everything in gear. Then they offered me, well, we definitely want to do business with you. We want you to do so. We've seen what you do. So they offered me MegaCon. So I'm like, and it was very nonchalant. I was talking with the guy where he's like, well, do you maybe want to do MegaCon? I'm like, that thing in Florida that's 100,000 people? No, of course I want to do MegaCon. Of course. Yeah. I did it. Had a blast doing that. Once the videos and footage from MegaCon came out, it blew up all over the internet. Everybody was seeing some of the stuff we did there. And because of that, I got contacted from the people at ReedPop who run Florida Supercon. They also run C2E2, New York Comic Con, and everything else. So between them and Fan Expo, next year is going to be very, very full for me, all over the place with doing this. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, the first time I saw Bizarro Wrestling advertised, because I'm here in Miami, Florida. So I definitely got excited when I started seeing the flyers for the one that's coming down here next weekend already. If you can believe it, next Friday and Saturday you're down
I'm
here.
trying not to believe it.
Okay.
All the headaches I've got with doing last minute prep for it. I kind of wish it was another couple weeks away, but it is what it is.
Right.
It says in the Godfather, this is the business we chose, Michael. So this is what the headaches come with the business.
Yeah, because it's going to be, I believe it's Friday, June 30th and Saturday, July 1st.
Right.
Are the
Friday,
days that
Friday evening show. I believe bell time. Doors open at 5. Bell time is at 6, and the Saturday afternoon show. Bell time is doors open at 3. Bell time is at 4.
Right, correct. Because I'm going to be at the Saturday show. I'm going to make sure I make it to the Saturday show. I'm really excited. I'm actually going on vacation the very next morning. So it worked out perfectly that I can come out there and check it out, because I've seen some other stuff done at the convention as well. But I saw you guys did the show in MegaCon in Orlando, and I really wanted to go up, but something came up and I just couldn't make it to MegaCon. And I really enjoyed the card that you had. And from what I'm seeing down here, I've seen Friday's card, and I think Saturday you put out a couple matches so far.
Not a couple matches. I'm not going to give away everything.
Of course.
We've got some surprises in store, and a couple different things. Some mystery opponents, some mystery matches. Going to have a few surprises that's going to be out there. The history of wrestling at Florida Supercon, over the last 13 years, I believe it is, was, Florida Cosplay. And for some reason, they decided not to go with them and to go with me, which, hey, I'm very pleased and happy that happened. And I'm going to do something different. I'm not, it's very entertaining. But like I said, I'm kind of a old school at heart, but I still want to do some stuff that really piss Jim Cornette off. And believe me, you're going to see some really bizarre things that are going to happen in the ring and out of the ring and possibly all over the building. But, we'll see what happens there. But there's going to be some surprises and some throwbacks to some things and elements and characters that might be a little more surprised to those non-wrestling fans that are going to be there. Because let's face it, there's going to be a lot of frenzied and fanatics in there, but there's also going to be people in there that have never seen pro wrestling ever live for the first time, and they're gonna get a surprise.
What is the challenge? Yeah, what is the challenge of catering to such a diverse crowd?
It's just, let's throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Really, I'm like, I could try this, and maybe this will get the crowd to pop. Maybe, or oh no, this is definitely gonna happen. And it's just, MegaCon was just diving in head first. A lot of the different matches we had have never been done. Some of these guys have never worked each other before. So I brought in, guys, and same here. I'm bringing some guys that wasn't available the last time at MegaCon and bringing them in. Some people from my hometown area. I got bringing in Vordell Walker, who lives in the New Orleans area here. Surprised he's not asking me for a ride, the cheap bastard. Anyway, that's for you, brother. And so Vordell's coming in, the ring wrecker himself, one of the most notorious guys on the independent scene. No stranger to Florida wrestling at all. And Vordell's going to be in there. Actually, that is a match I can give away. Vordell Walker is going to be in there with Jaxon Slade, the one-man army, who is, from the Tampa area, the XIW heavyweight champion in Panama City Beach. Another promotion that I work with as head of production over there. And I've known him since he was 15, when he was wrestling since he was 15 years old, if you can believe that. He's completely different now than what he was back then, and he's an amazing talent. I can't wait for people down here to see him and Vordell pretty much try to kill each other.
Now, I'm looking at the match card, right? And you've got a lot of matches set up, but Simon Sez both days, Friday and Saturday, say mystery opponent. What has he done to earn the mystery opponent slot for both of those days?
Well, Simon is notorious, especially throughout the Florida area. And, Simon, I guess he feels that he hasn't complained about this at all. He kind of feels that he can take on anybody or anything. And I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in whatever plans he has for just extreme grandeur at Florida Supercon.
Now, what would you say to people that are going to the convention that see the wrestling show and they're like, okay, well, how do I make time for everything? Like, what is your selling point to say, you know what, your butt needs to be in the seat at 3:00 to make sure that you catch this show?
Oh, it's very simple. I mean, the way that everything is timed out, there are other panels that are to be going on at that time, but I kind of feel if it was me, a wrestling fan, there's a wrestling show, I'm going to go see that, then go and see somebody who was the voice of something that you saw one time 10 years ago talk about. But that's just me. I'm a wrestling guy. And there's other wrestling, there's wrestling trivia as well. It's a few hours ahead of time. I'm sure we're going to go, a couple of us are going to go in there and crash that little party and see how much we know or don't know in there. There's also some other panels about wrestling. I'm sure we'll try to get involved in that. Maybe sit in for some questions or something like that, and invite everybody to come, into the Ocean Ballroom in a couple hours from then, and check out the show. I mean, everything should be timed out nicely, and we're gonna have enough, enough flyers around to know what we're doing.
And is there also a meet and greet as well?
There's a meet and greet. Once the doors open an hour before the show, there's a meet and greet. We're going to have lots of tables along the side of the entrance. We're also going to have Omega level comics. My buddy Travis Hotard making the drive from New Orleans with me. He runs Omega level toys and comics in Slidell, Louisiana, which is about a half hour past New Orleans. He's making the drive. He's bringing, and when I say a collection of really, really ridiculous amount of wrestling figures and other pop culture toys and products, he's going to have an abundance of all of this around here, and he's looking forward to it. And he's going to have stuff that you couldn't believe. He's going to have old school stuff from the WWF days. He's going to have a lot of AEW figures, a lot of WWE figures. They have some New Japan stuff. He's going to have everything you could possibly think of. He's going to have that, and probably bring a couple more surprises from him. He's a huge fan of Matt Cardona, and let's just say it's embarrassing how much of a fan. Yeah, I'm talking about you, dude. It's embarrassing what a fan of Matt Cardona he is, and I'm sure he won't mind bringing some of his little swag from that to show off as well.
So you're saying I should have a zero balance on my credit card when I show up for the...
I'm just saying, make sure that your credit card bill is paid off, or stop at the ATM, bring lots of
cash. Because the wrestlers are going to have merchandise to sell, I'm guessing, right? At the meet and greets as well, too, right?
Yeah, lots of wrestlers are going to have they're going to have some T-shirts and other merchandise to sell as well. There'll be most of the guys they're all going to have a couple suitcases full of stuff, as they do every time. So it's gonna be fun. And during that time, the meet and greet, you can go up to them, talk to them. They'll sign autographs. It's we're very, very interactive. It's not it's not a big thing. We want everybody to know, hey, yes, we're just regular guys, regular people. You come on up to us and let's talk. I mean, we're at Florida Supercon. We're all a bunch of nerds. We're going to have some nerd fun. And it's what it's all about.
I was going to say, yeah, I've had several of the performers on the channel, from Cha Cha Charlie to Agony, Marina Tucker. I saw Skitz was just announced, who's
Yes, it was
Definitely
just
an
announced.
interesting individual, that's for sure.
Yes, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I'm looking forward to that match. It's freshly booked. The Technical Alchemist, David Mercury versus Skitz. I put the pan out there, said they both got a screw loose, and we're gonna see who can out crazy one another. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, David Mercury is another guy. It's been about, God, it was pre-pandemic when I had him on the channel as well. And yeah, I love his energy and his persona that he brings.
It is amazing. It really is. And just the magnitude that he puts into it with promos beforehand and everything. It's a really great persona, and it's become one of my favorites. And as long as I'm doing a Bizarro Wrestling show, there are certain guys that I will bring anywheres, and David Mercury is one of them.
Wow, yeah, he's a good dude inside and outside the ring. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, in the time of you doing Bizarro Wrestling, what would you say is maybe the biggest lesson you've learned doing Bizarro Wrestling versus doing all the other professional wrestling that you've done in your time?
The biggest lesson I've learned is never take fun for granted. When I'm doing these Bizarro shows, they're all festivals, they're all conventions, and I can pretty much, I don't have to stick with a good sect of, oh, this should be done this way, I should have this type of match or blah blah. It's just that it's all right. I'm looking for personas and gimmicks that are just over the top. Why? Because it doesn't matter. We're all gonna have fun with this, and the more over the top, the better. And I'm sure there are guys out there that'll be on the next show that I've never even met yet. I can't wait. Hell, they'll probably come up to me, next week. And, hey, I'm a wrestling something or other. I'm like, oh, a something or other. Well, that does sound good. Well, maybe we'll keep in mind next time. So I'm looking forward to all things like that because it's just about, these shows are so much fun. This is like a vacation. I told my boss at my shoot job today, I'm like, hey, just remember, I'm not going to be here most of next week up until the 4th of July. I'll be in Miami. He's like, we're in Miami. So I told you what I'm going to Miami. I'm going to play wrestling in Miami. Like, all right, we'll have fun. I'm like, I will.
That's what I love about the shoot jobs versus our side hustles, our side jobs, as people say to me all the time, how do you keep up the energy level to do your podcast, to go to all these shows, to do the interviews? I'm like, I'm talking wrestling, right? Like,
yeah, Miller Lite Jack Daniels helps. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. A shot of something from Tennessee always helps before we get going.
Well, I'm Irish and I'm from New Orleans.
Okay.
Everybody's gonna have a hobby. Drinking's one of them. So there you go.
Okay. Where would you like to see Bizarro Wrestling go to in the future? What is your couple year plan down the road with it?
Well, next year we plan on doing even bigger shows. I plan on. I've got the invite to go to Chicago for C2E2 and for Fan Expo Chicago. I'm going to take advantage of at least one of those next year. I'm eyeing, going into some of the conventions in Texas. Probably going to try and do Dallas in October. Philadelphia next year. I think I'm going to do Philly, Fan Expo Philly next year. Of course, MegaCon again in February. I'm looking forward to that. But most importantly, I'm looking forward to coming back here home in New Orleans in January for the Fan Expo New Orleans. I'm looking forward to that one the most, and I think I'm going to go all out on that one simply because it's just something that's near and dear to my heart. I've wanted to do that one convention the most for a long time, and I've been going to it every year it's been here. And I've come very, very close in the past. Something's always come in the way of me doing something there. And now that I have it, I'm gonna just go all out and make that one something really, really special. I want people driving in from all around to come to that convention to see Bizarro Wrestling and go, wow, those guys know how to have fun.
That is the key to all of Bizarro Wrestling, is to have fun.
Absolutely. The second I take myself seriously is the second I'm not going to do it anymore. And luckily, I'm a giant child. So my daughter, who's 4, says, "Daddy, you're the giantest boy ever." And I go, "Thank you, Peanut." So I take that as a badge of honor. Until I stop being the giantest boy ever, I am going to continue to do Bizarro Wrestling until if I get serious, then it's time to stop.
See, I think me and you would be best friends. My wife says I'm just a giant, big child all the time. So
Hey,
I've never grown out of it.
You've got a case full of stuff. I've got a case full of Batman figures,
Right.
and a whole office full of half a house full of ridiculous Batman stuff. That if my girlfriend knew half of what I paid for some of this stuff, she would just roll her eyes. She truly would, because it's ridiculous. I mean, if you're a collector, you get it. You understand. I got to have the whole set of this one. I know this one costs more than this one, but screw it. I got to have all of them. You got to have the whole set.
You do. Like, it doesn't make sense in your mind if you don't.
That's right. But I never did do the Funko thing.
You never did. Okay.
I always had a strict rule: no Funko. I told my friends, dude, don't give me any Funkos. Don't give no Funkos, no Funkos, because that's all it takes is one.
It does.
It takes one, and then it's just, if I just told myself, oh, just the Batman ones, just the Batman ones, I'd have a whole house full.
You'd have like 400.
Yeah. And then I would then go, oh, just the Joker ones, or just the Rogues Gallery, just then you've got whole rooms dedicated to this stuff, and it's just Funkos, and it's too much. It's too much. I say that when I Funkos over here that somebody gave me, and I had a couple Funkos for my birthday. I'm like, shit, it starts. So it begins.
It does. Mine started my dad before he passed away. I mean, Sting is obviously my favorite wrestler of all time, and he bought me the Sting one, and I didn't even know what a Funko was. He just bought it for me because it was Sting, right? Just like I'm sure anybody would buy you Batman because it's Batman. Hey, he likes Batman. Yeah. And then
my stepson gave me Dude Love because of a Mick Foley mark. It's like, hey, I got you the Dude. Now I'm looking to see, a Lebowski one. I'm like, oh no, the Dude. Oh
yeah. It's a slippery slope that you can go down.
See, now I have the Dude Love, so now I got to get Mankind. I got to get Cactus. I got to get Mick. There's probably a dozen other Mick Foley ones that I don't know of too. So now I'm gonna have to get all of those.
Yeah,
because of the one.
Yeah, because then they sell him with the Rock for a moment or something like that.
Then you got to get the Three Faces of Foley triple pack. It's almost the same ones, except they got different colored shirts or something. It's how Funko it is. Every time I'm at a convention, all I see is Funko everywhere, and everybody just trying to kill each other for the different Funkos. And my buddy Blake, when he comes to the shows, he's just like, dude, find me this one Wolverine that's got this on him, and I'm like, no. Oh no, I looked, I didn't see it. Must not be here.
Yeah,
because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely slowed down a lot though in the past year and a half, because I actually moved hundreds of them. I'm not lying to you. When I started selling, like I looked around, I had a storage, and I'm like, okay, like I have a storage, like it's time to go.
and for those of you kids out there that you're watching this, I am more than sure and positive that Travis Hotard and Omega Level Comics and Toys will be having some Funkos as well that are coming,
and they're going to be splendid for you to pick up.
Right. If not, he sure as hell is going to bring them now.
Yeah, he's contractually obligated now. We put it on the record.
Couple more cases in the car, dude.
Yeah, that's it. We'll find a little bit more room. Now, I know we don't want to give away too much about Bizarro Wrestling because we obviously want people to come out and watch the show. I'm excited. I can't wait for. I'll be there on Saturday. Is there anything else we should know about Bizarro Wrestling while we got you here?
Just know that when you come to the show, find a good seat, stay there, and get ready to have fun. Because we're going to have tons of great action. There's going to be some funny moments. And, we don't shy away from getting ultra violent. You step in between the doors, you step into Bizarro World. When you step into Bizarro World, you will see a little bit of everything that every wrestling fan wants to see. I guarantee you that.
I should ask you one more question because you've brought up the name at least twice. Why do you want to piss off Jim Cornette?
I love Jim Cornette, and I got some friends of mine that despise the fact that I'm a Cult of Cornette member. I listen to him constantly, all week. I'm sitting at my desk at work. I got my headset on. Why? Because I don't want everybody else at work to listen to half the crap I got going in there. But I listen to Jim Cornette all the time. I don't agree with everything he says and everything he believes in, but he does make sense a lot of the time. But then sometimes it's just like, really, dude? Okay, it's a little far fetched. But just every time I see something on TV or on the internet, and just like a lot of people, I go, "Oh, that really pissed Cornette off."
It's like you just know. You just know.
So it's like I'd like what a goal. You talk about goals for Bizarre Wrestling. A goal of mine is to have Cornette call it on his show, an Outlaw Mud show at a comic book convention with all these flippity flops doing stupid shit. That's what I want him to say. I want him to just refer to Bizarre Wrestling as one of them Outlaw Mud shows and cosplay wrestlers and stuff like that. And it would be the ultimate badge of honor. I would just love that.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet him. He is a really nice guy to chat with in person.
I met him a few years back briefly. It was interesting. It was what, WrestleMania 30 when it was here in New Orleans. We were doing the NWA show, and it was it was old school homecoming for me. The Fantastics were there. That's back when when Tommy Rogers was still with us. So it was like the Fantastics, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, and Jim Cornette, and they're all right here in a building that I got my start in the St. Bernard Civic Center in Chalmette, Louisiana. I got my start in there. We were talking about all the things that have happened in this building in the past and everything, and then we started talking about old school shows. And Cornette's like, "I like this guy." Fast forward 15 years later, you probably want to strangle me with some of the stuff I've done booking wise, but it is what it is.
So if people want more information on Bizarro Wrestling, where should they go to?
You can go Bizarro Wrestling on Facebook and on Instagram. And the YouTube channel is not really updated, but people got jobs.
Yeah,
most of the videos are up on Facebook though, and it's something I'm going to be concentrating more on in the future is some YouTube content, full match edits and everything will be up there. There are a few of them up there, but they're going to be a lot. There'll be a lot more content on there soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I actually did go onto the YouTube channel this week. I only saw, I think, like 4 videos up there. So
yeah, but a lot of stuff is on Facebook, and it didn't transfer over yet.
Gotcha. Okay, so people should go subscribe anyways to get ready for when those videos are.
Get ready for when it comes up. There'll be a lot of content on there, especially after next weekend. There will be a lot of content put up there, and as far as some other stuff in the past from festivals here in New Orleans. We'll have some stuff up from those as well.
Perfect. All right. Well, is there anything else we should know before we let you go? And I mean, it's a week away from the show. We're going to post this on Friday, so it'll be 1 week away from the show. So anything else we should know? Because you got a busy week ahead of you.
Got a very busy week ahead of me. come to Florida Supercon, stay for the wrestling.
There we go. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Whenever I can do comic books, toys, collectibles, I don't even care about the meet and greets that are out there at this convention. To be honest, I'm excited about all the other stuff that's out there and the wrestling. So I can't wait for this.
I can't wait either. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So guys, make sure if you're in the Miami area, Friday and Saturday, Miami Beach Convention Center, Bizarro Wrestling at Florida Supercon. It's going to be awesome. That's for sure. So guys, if you like interviews like this, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos. Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.